you saw in the last video, I already said that we had some things here, but one of the things we'll be upgrading today is we're finally gonna make that jump over to manual brakes. That's right, you heard me. Manual brakes, we're gonna get a little more race car-ish on the Bullet and convert from the power brakes that it had over to manual. Now, that being said, I am a little bit hesitant because besides a couple old school cars, I haven't really driven anything, especially this power level, on manual brakes on the street or at the track. So I don't really know what it's gonna be like, or even if I'm gonna like it at all. So I guess we're just gonna have to see. Manual brake conversion kit. We got the master cylinder here, the adapter plate, miscellaneous lines because we're gonna have to remake a couple things, a couple brackets because I want to mount the line lock solenoid and the adjuster valve right on the master cylinder itself instead of having it up front. Let me just hang on, let me show you exactly what I mean. This is where I had the adjuster valve and the line lock solenoid mounted. I've had it there for what seems like forever, but that's gonna go away. Right now I'm in the process of actually taking the brake booster out. I've already removed the old master cylinder with the lines, and now I'm just gonna remove this. With that being out of the way, we're gonna have a lot more room to be able to, with these heads being bigger, the room between the head and the strut tower to fit my hand and everything has decreased. So now with the brake booster out of the way, we can get to all the plugs a lot easier. So that's a big plus. These ugly lines that I've had running from the master to the front here, those are gonna be gone. They were really close to the exhaust pipe anyways. I always had to bend them down because I was afraid they were getting too close and would get too hot. I do have to remove this side header, the valve cover, in order to get to the brake lines that are running alongside the frame rail there, because we're gonna have to recut them, reflare them so that we can fit everything nice and tucked in inside by the firewall. Let's get this brake booster out of the way with one hand, possibly. Oh my gosh. Everything just gets in the way. Let's see if we can pull this off with one hand. Don't scratch my valve cover. Don't scratch my valve cover. And we did it. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. What do you think? Am I making a big mistake with this, or am I gonna love it? There's also a special surprise that's going along with this. You'll see in another video. But for now, this is what we're focusing on. Easy peasy. Especially this header bolt. This header bolt right here would always give me a big problem because it's hard to get to, especially when I have the valve cover on. But yeah, now it's a lot easier. The slave cylinder bolted to the firewall, because this used to be a 6-speed car. The slave cylinder is still bolted to the wall. This hole is covered up on the inside, but the slave cylinder is bolted there to cover that hole. Base gate, turbo lines, this side cold side pipe, and then be able to remove the header out of there so we can access those brake lines. Alright, so I started mounting the bracket to the reservoir there. We still need to put our solenoid and other bracket on, but I'm curious what this thing is going to weigh compared to the brake booster and the other master cylinder. So we're going to conduct a little bit of an experiment. .6 pounds is what it registered right before I went 0 for an error for some reason. 3.6 pounds. And it's not registering weight. So that's nice. Failed experiment. Well, at least we can compare it to the booster. 9.2 pounds. So a whole 5 pounds difference between the booster. We didn't count that because that feels like maybe like a pound. So 10, so about 5 pound difference between what we're getting rid of and what we're putting on. So I don't think we're really saving a whole lot of weight, but there's still more to be shaved off. 10 hours later, I kid you not, and finally I got some brake lines done. Don't judge me too much on the way I bent these things. They're not exactly perfect, but they'll work. This one in particular, this back one, ended up, at first I went down and over and under and it looked horrible. So I had to basically remake it to go up, over, and over, which is much cleaner, but the line's a little funky. Just to get everything kind of mocked up and look at the rest of the piping and make sure that everything clears. But so far so good. So what's next? Gotta pick up some supplies first of all. Gotta change out the spark plug, start taking a look at that. Luckily I didn't have to take the header off at all. I thought I was going to need to, but I'm glad I'm glad it didn't ended up needing it after all, so that worked out. I gotta bench bleed that thing. That's one of the other supplies that I have to pick up too, is some brake fluid. I gotta bench bleed it and then secure all the connections, then put it back on, tighten everything up, and then start working on the valve train. Alright, checked over all the rockers. Everything seems to be good there, so we don't have any kind of underlying issues. That's all set and good. Pulled all the spark plugs. We did get some parts and I wanted to show you guys real quick. I went ahead and got longer spark plug wires. Let me clear this out real quick. I'll show you. So I love these ceramic wires, by the way. They've been really good to me. We run these regular length, but they're extreme heat. I think the only difference really is it's got, I don't know if the line's different maybe, but it's only got this little heat shrink stuff going on there. With the bigger heads, putting the coils on top, I noticed that it's real tight from the plug to the coil. Almost too tight, so I wanted to get something a little bit longer to give me some slack there so it's not pulling on the wire and causing a misfire of some sort. These are still brand new and good, so I'll keep these as a spare in case I ever need anything. So we got new plug wires going on. Remember where we left off the last time we went racing at Texas 2K? I said that I was having a lot of issues with boost leak, and it really kept us from performing at our peak levels. So we're gonna take care of that now while we got some downtime. I went ahead and ordered some material, and Zach, a buddy of ours who's actually been on the channel before a long time ago, he reached out and he wants to help me out on redoing this cold side. So I said, yeah, let's do it. So what we're gonna do, it's gonna be pretty much the same. Only a little more simplistic. We're gonna go 90 off the bottom of the coolers. It's gonna be welded straight to the bottom of the cooler and then come back up into the turbo flange, which will require the same kind of V-band that we have already. So I went ahead and bought the V-band that we're gonna need, which is a 2.5, and then a reducer from a 2.5 to a 3-inch. And then I've got all kinds of aluminum material to kind of finish this off there. So that's the plan. I got a little bit here and we'll see what we can do with that. And then I think for the top, talking to my buddy Josh, I think what we want to do for the top is go 3-inch V-band up here at the top of the cooler, have the same style, and we'll 90 out that way, merge, and then we'll go 3.5 into the throttle body. Speaking of the throttle body, our buddies over at War, they went ahead and hooked us up with another throttle body that will weld a V-band too. So I really do appreciate it, guys. They've been a huge supporter of the Bullet, and they sent us this new throttle body that we're gonna weld our new flange on and go from there. So we're gonna keep this one as a spare. Finding out as I keep going and racing and doing things that having a spare of everything is a good thing. So Vibrant is going to be sending us a new collar replacement piece for the top there. We're going to do something a little bit different when they do send us. We're going to change that up a little bit, but for the most part, everything else will stay the same. To wrap it up, Like I said, I'm gonna get some fittings to get all that master cylinder brake, manual brake stuff off. I cannot wait to try that out. And after that, we will talk about what's in this other box. But for now, tripped over a piece. I'm gonna get to work.